Julie, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me today. Would you mind by starting just telling a little bit about your role, where you're located, et cetera?
Yeah, I am the division director of reproductive endocrinology at the University of Pittsburgh. I also am the fellowship director as well as a medical director for our Center for Reproduction and Transplantation. So I wear many hats here at McGee Women's Hospital.
And I believe you also have a family.
Yes, I have twin 8-year-olds and a husband that stays at home and a stepson in Tennessee.
Okay. So, what led you to enter coaching?
I think it was the burnout that I was feeling from juggling all the things that I have as a busy physician with both a busy clinical practice as well as many administrative and research roles, as well as my second full-time job or third being a wife and mother, and wanting to make sure that I felt well and healthy coming home from work to enjoy time with my kids and family.
Hmm. What did you find helpful about the coaching with all of the above?
I think the first is just putting everything in a different perspective, and being able to, when I'm frustrated with my 8-year-old, like being like, she's 8 and she can't, doesn't have the same emotional, or he doesn't have the same emotional, um, place that I have. And so being able to kind of step back and not just jump in with emotions. So I think that's been a huge deal. I also think from a leadership standpoint, things that I were making a big deal and having some avoidance for conflict, I've been able through coaching to really change that perspective and that lens and be able to just tackle difficult situations without a lot of anxiety or animosity and a lot of, and I'm not doing the avoidance anymore. And so the overall stress of what I was feeling for some of those difficult situations is now significantly reduced.
Hmm. What about your confidence as a leader?
I definitely feel like it's solidified. I've been able to, a lot of people tell you your positive attributes that you have, but I've been able to look at the ones that maybe needed more work and focus on those. And it's an ever continuing path to become better and to focus on the things that are maybe more challenging. So I think coaching's been able to give me a lens of why did I have a bad day and what can I do to change it? So I now constantly have like the bullet journaling, kind of take assessment of my day as I finish up. If I work from home, I still try to do that. So I have a little confidence or a little break in between work and jumping into home life. And so I think just having that mental mindfulness, which I found Dr. Gazelle's book, fantastic read and really helped in addition to the coaching, to be again, having a whole different perspective, which has led to a significant reduction in burnout.
Hmm. Wonderful. Am I also hearing, and you may have touched on this, changes in patterns of reactivity?
Yes, I mean, I think by taking a pause, a purposeful pause, I think is what the book says, but taking that purposeful pause, which is still a work in progress, but I would say I probably do it 80 to 90% of the time now instead of maybe like 20% before I started. So I think having that pause reduces that reactivity. And again, there's always work to be done, so I'm still striving to get that closer to 100%. But this has been a definite change in anything I've ever done to kind of help that mental mindset and refocus.
What would you tell somebody who's perhaps on the fence about whether coaching can be helpful for them or not?
I mean, I would say I was skeptical before I did this, but I had many friends both in medicine and without outside of medicine who are in leadership positions really encourage and say it really is different than anything you've done. If you've seen, a counselor or been in like group sessions, it's just not the same experience. And so many people encouraged, and I kept putting it off, being like, I don't have time, or I don't have the money, or anything like that. And I would say at the end of the year, it's worth the time, it's worth the money. And definitely knowing what you want to get out of it is very helpful. And Dr. Gale has been very helpful with providing that path so that even though I'm not 100% sure I knew what I wanted to get out of it, she helped kind of solidify that for me, and be able to work on some challenging things.
Thank you so much, Julie. This is really helpful.
No problem. Thank you so much for working with me. I will miss our sessions, but I'm sure I will tune in again just to get a tune up every once in a while.